Hey, man, my name is
No, welcome to the episode number 2 of the season number 2 of the Furto Ramens. And here we are. I guess the idea we had was to do a presentation each in half an hour each, and only 1 out of 4 prepare something. So it's going to be very funny. I guess I leave it. Eisenberg was saying something.
If it makes you feel any better, I procrastinated to the last hour or so.
I did too, but then I had a blackout, no electricity for 3 hours. I couldn't get ready for what I want to do. I'm trying to do it now with nonchalance.
What about the rest of the week?
Word.
He's also a last minute guy like us.
Yeah. My name is Costas. I'm Heisenberg. I'm not only a last minute guy. I'm I completely forgot about it kind of guy. So it's just,
dude. That's why I was asking us to take that personality test. Now I relate to you even more because I'm like, yeah, it makes sense.
We're both the same. Yeah. Basically, I don't like to prepare anything. So if you just put me, so my personality is I'm one of those ADHD guys who just likes the.
You like the stress, bro. Under stress.
I like the last minute stress where if it's due in 30 minutes, I'll get it done in the next 15 and I'll be like right on. But I waited 3 months. You
were thinking about it.
And then when the client starts complaining, it's like, oh God, I gotta get. And that's how that's a horrible way to do business. Is basically whoever is and here's the thing. I got to tell you about intuition. I'm very intuitive. I sense when someone's about to call me, or I start thinking about them, or I call them, or something. I start thinking about them, and then they call me. Or here's what happens. This is the best. I start working on the project, and then they call me, and then I get to say, "Well, I'm working on it," because I'm really, literally working on it because I just thought of it. Oh shit, I got to work on this project today. It's a horrible way to do business. I pick up on that, dude. I mean, I literally have picked up the phone and called people, and people are like, "Dude, I was about to call you. How did you know?" And it freaks them out when I'm really on top of it. Anyways, so
the only time I get mind reading vibes is around people I'm really close to or know, where I'm like, I was gonna say that, or I literally say the words that. Or the best one is when you know somebody's gonna say something before they even say it. That's the weirdest shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did a logo once for a client, and she how did you know? It literally freaked her out because it was exactly what she wanted. She didn't tell me what she wanted.
Well, they say you can send images. That's the idea. But behind the people that can actually read minds, they're seeing pictures.
Yes,
hey,
so crazy.
Hey, CIA, I need I could do a side gig.
Dude, oh my God. Speaking of that shit.
We could talk about the Monroe, what is that?
Psychic Discoveries.
Wow.
Dude, this is such a good book. It's about the Russians, how they had this all figured out in the 70s. It's pretty crazy.
Really?
Dude, the experiments are nuts. It's these two women that are writing the book, but oh my God, I don't even want to go into too much detail, but it's stuff that you wouldn't even believe is true. People are staring at cameras and making images appear on videotape just from staring at a camera. Insane shit. That's just one example.
Wow. That's crazy.
Is there any validity to that? I
yes.
believe it's...
Yeah, dude, but that's what's nuts is dude, it turns into a system. The Russians were thinking about the implications way beyond just, they wanted to get into the structural aspect of it. Okay, how do we apply this towards weapons? And it's kind of fucked because they start to test it in terms of all right, well, what if we mess with you? What if we try to hurt you? It gets pretty dark. Yeah.
There's that document that came out. It's a PDF, and it talks about remote viewing that the CIA was doing.
Stargate.
Is it Stargate or is remote viewing? It's Stargate. It's very interesting stuff.
Yeah, Hal Puthoff.
Did you guys see that experiment where they exposed water or ice to an image, and it was able to retain the image, whatever it last saw?
That was an interesting thing.
Yeah, yes. Super fascinating.
And also sensitive to the humor. You are angry, and it becomes in a certain way. You're happy.
Even the experiments with organite.
Usually, it's alcohol that do that, no water, but it's okay.
If you put organite over the water in the freezer, it'll freeze into a vortex. Pretty weird shit.
What?
Yeah, pretty weird shit.
Unless you're dealing with the snow.
Organite was created by Wilhelm Reich. He was making these orgone accumulators or boxes that you could sit in, and the energy of it would literally heal you. But what's crazy, not only was he healing cancers and all this shit, but the government like literally shut it down. Like they took all his research. Like, yeah, this gets pretty dark into what happened to him too. It just made him disappear. All of it just amazing research, by the way. And then the weird part about this is I got this puck from a guy that was at a farmer's market, and he was like taking care of his autistic son, and he was explaining to me what this does. And he's like, come by my house. I go to this dude's house, like out in the middle of like nowhere. Dude, as I'm there, he's getting crystals delivered in the mail to his house. And he has like these tower busters, which are pointed to the sky with like metal rods. And you can see the clouds are like clearing out where he's pointing it. My mind was
I've seen
blown.
those.
My mind was blown. I was like, dude, this guy's on another wavelength entirely. Like he's over here making these pucks with boat resin and metal shavings and explaining the science behind it. And I'm just like in awe. Like, what the hell am I like? What is this shit?
So you met this guy and you said it disappeared, or his stuff disappeared? What did you say?
No, like
Is that what you-
he was cleaning the sky. That's what the tower busters do. Like,
Wow.
yeah, pretty
They were
insane.
moving the clouds. The
Yeah.
clouds
Here
are like,
in Bali, if you get married or you have a party and the weather is not good, you call a specific man that they get paid to make sure it's not gonna rain,
Shut
and
up.
it
What?
works. Yeah, it works.
I like how Roberto's like, yeah, it works. Yeah. no.
yeah, it's just super
It's like
casual.
every
That's
day.
sweet.
We're like freaking out. He's like, oh yeah, this is my neighbor. He does, it's like,
I think
I
it
haven't
would be a
had
good
rain
business
in like
model.
5 years. What?
It's a good business model. So if it doesn't rain, you don't pay me. And this guy has 50-50 chance to make money, like, because that, oh shit, it rain, never mind. Oh, it didn't rain, give me the money then.
Oh my gosh.
Interesting.
I should start
But
something like
maybe
that in
not.
Florida because it rains here all the time.
You could totally go
Yeah.
into some mafia stuff with that. Like, it would be a shame if it rained on your wedding day.
She said they sent Vinny over to make it rain. You know what I mean? He's up there on the roof. Then never mind.
No, go ahead, Eisenberg.
He's like,
He's
wait,
up on the roof peeing
he's
on
like
your
waiting for the
parade.
deposit, waiting for the deposit. Just leaves.
Or else. Anytime you hear or else, you're in trouble. Or else. Wow, dude.
That's so crazy. But I've definitely experienced similar experiences of reading someone's mind or thinking about someone, and they're literally calling or texting. I was just about to call you. This happens often on the dance floor as well. A guest comes up to request a specific song, and it's already in my queue, ready to
Nice.
play next. And I'm
Wow.
like, oh,
Right.
I'm not even gonna touch
Man,
anything. Look at
and
this.
that's deeper
They
though.
say
I
God is
honestly
a
think
DJ, right?
that's just good DJing though, because you can read the crowd. You know what I mean? You already know what they want.
Exactly.
You got to be in tune with that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
That's amazing how intuition. I always tell people it's been like that my whole life. Like being a graphic designer, being like creative and thinking and visualizing things. It's like training. I've like trained myself to think visually and to feel things and to I do with like new clients, for instance. If I have a conversation with them and I have a sense like this is not the right client, because every time I didn't listen to that, it always ended up into trouble. Like, it's like, it's a hell project all the way to the end,
Mhm.
and it's like the signs is like, you definitely feel something with certain people. And you're like, no, man, we're not a good fit. And wisdom is like saying, I don't need the money this bad. And so that's like the best thing, because sometimes I turned down, I had a great client, but it wasn't a good fit. I mean, I turned down money, but I'd rather not have the money and have peace than be
I
like,
feel that.
God, this is
And
horrible.
the other
horrible
thing, I
experience.
know all of you can relate to this about how important it is to give people what they want instead of like what you're envisioning, or instead of you having a good time. Because
Yeah.
toward the end of my DJ career, I was like, dude, I'm playing what I want to hear. Fuck everybody. I'm totally serious. I'm totally serious. But now that I'm like older and I'm discovering older stuff, and I'm like, oh, I remember that one. Oh, I would love to add that to my set that I don't DJ anymore.
Send it on
So,
over.
Right?
I mean, Rick Rubin would say, he does what he likes. You know what I mean? That's one of his. I don't know if he's living in another dimension or not like us, but it's all about what he is feeling. I mean, that's something I heard him talk about. That's an interesting topic.
Yeah.
You
What's
have to give the
weird?
client what they want.
What's weird is the older I get.
But do they know what they want?
No, and that's up to us to guide them.
That's a
Okay,
good point.
that's what I mean.
That's a good point.
I
That's
think
the
most clients don't know what
surprise.
they want.
That's the surprise, though, right? Like, dude, you wouldn't even want to pay for some shit if you weren't going to be like, oh, wow. And it's the same with music. You're like, I didn't even remember that song. Oh, I love that song.
If you give
Right.
clients what they want, they're not going to like it. Mostly.
Well, if you're interpreting their words as, you know, factual, exact representation, because sometimes they don't know how to communicate that to us,
Yes.
and that's okay too. But I feel like you could almost sell anything if you build the story up enough. Like this is like the vision behind it. This is why I did it, or the purpose behind it. And it may not be the flashiest thing, but if you sell the story and the why, I think they're interested.
Yeah. Another thing that it's interesting is like people ask me to do certain things, and I know that going down that path is a dead end. And so what happens is like, okay, they insist. You give it to them, you're like, oh yeah, you were right. It's horrible. It's a horrible idea. So you wasted like a few hours, going down that road. So it's being able to like help them not go down that. That's hard because either a client will take over control of your process, or you control the process, or they end up taking over. And the certain clients, they love to be like, stick their hand up your, what, and move the mouse for you,
Dude,
and
yeah.
that ends up in tears.
Dude, one of the things I've worked with like prominent engineers who ironically worked with Rick Rubin. That's where this came to mind. And he was like, don't ever come to the studio with your friends that are just gonna sit there and be smoking the entire time and not contribute to anything, and they just hang out. And the reason I brought that up was like I was trying to come back to, it sucks because he also told me you never want to meet your idols or the people that you look up to. And I totally understand that, dude, because the reason I said the older I get is because Rick Rubin's losing his magic for me, where I'm like, I don't know if this guy is like as hyped up as people make him seem to be. But it's only with experience that you start to come to that conclusion, right? Like just a normal dude.
Right.
mean,
Yeah. We stop idolizing them a bit and just
Right.
put it into real terms. They're another person, another human.
Right.
Do you think Rick Rubin was like that the whole time? Because you look at him now, he's like, wears white. He's got this.
He's like you. He's intuitively guided. Think about it.
Yeah,
People
no, I
just
mean-
over mythologize that about it.
That's what I mean. He's got the white robe, and he's got the Zen room with the one pillow, and he sits there and is like,
I
was
totally
he like
believe
that the whole time?
I believe he's probably, but even more so now when you're already successful and got there. Like a lot of
Yeah.
successful people meditate, dude.
Yeah, it's true, because they have the money and the time to do it. When you are poor, you're fucking
right.
freaking out, then you cannot meditate. Nothing with TIT you can do.
Right.
Rent's due. If rent's too damn high and it's due right now, I don't think you'd be meant. I mean,
Also, I did a whole study, dude, on distress. I honestly believe that distress attracts what you need, as weird as that sounds.
wait. Distress attracts what you need.
Yeah, like
When you're in desperate situation, thing comes your way.
Yeah, but you have to genuinely need it, right? You can't be like asking, but the universe, you send a signal, your distress to the universe, and that's kind of what attracts.
It's interesting. It's like when here's what always happens to me, which is funny. It's like, wouldn't it be fun if, like, that's kind of the general idea, if I had this, like, just for fun. Like, and it's like this passing thought, like, oh, that'd be fun to do that. And then like ends up happening. And so I'm like, how can I recreate that? Because
that's the detachment though. That's the wanting, and then you give it up. You know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah,
I completely forget about it.
It'd be nice, but hey, whatever. And then you go about your day.
Dude, and ideas are like eggs in baskets. You know what I mean? Like, you know how they say don't put all your eggs in one basket?
Okay.
Every idea is just another egg in another basket. You just don't know which one's coming back.
And why do you think that works? What is the physical or spiritual process that's happening when we're thinking about it? The brain is firing off the neurons, electrons. Is it sending out a signal? How do we receive that? I mean, it's just fascinating how it works.
That's the same shit with meditation. But go for it.
So I think two of the things that are key for me is gratitude and joy, kind of like a playfulness or a childlikeness, where it's like you're just having fun, you're playing. There's no attachment to anything. You're just riffing and you're just having a good time, and that creates an environment of plenty and abundance and more. those are the things that happen when I'm in that place. Everything's easy. Like I'm jammed with work right now, but I'm having so much fun. It's like, it's easy and it comes, and like I'm jammed with work because I'm just having fun. I'm not even thinking about the money going in the account. I haven't thought about the bank account. I mean, yeah, I got to transfer money, pay the bills. My wife does that, but normally I don't even think about the bank. It's just coming. And the more fun I have, the more like I'm not stressed. Stress has it stops everything. It's like being constipated. Literally, it's like that. So joyful, and so when I get out of that place, it's like I have to remember, okay, I need to have gratitude first of all, and then not be a dick.
No, I think gratitude is the key, dude, because it's a clean signal. Even when I would meditate, I don't know if y'all know what the void is. Do you know what that is? It sounds so fucking
like
weird. It sounds really weird to talk about, but in deep meditation, you basically go into this really open, empty space where it's like an infinite feeling all around you, right? But in that space, it's weird because you have to like, if you start to focus or you start to think, you fall out of it. So you literally just have to like relax in there. But I also think that people start asking for things or they start yearning. And there's a term called dharma, if you ever want to look that up, DHARMA. But that's why I say it's a clean signal, because when I'm in that void, I'll give gratitude. Like I'll thank God. And then the craziest part, this is the funny part, I'll literally get shivers down my entire spine if I just start talking to myself in meditation, because I'm like, it's a genuine, like, I don't want to say gratitude, but what I'm saying is genuine coming out of my mouth. And that's what kind of makes the feeling, you know? So that's where it comes from, in my opinion, like the clean signal, coming back to that. Like,
interesting. So that way we can start picking up frequencies.
Right. And most people aren't, genuinely not asking for anything. I'm just like giving gratitude in a space that most people are taking and asking.
Yeah. The idea of saying it would be fun, that would be fun to have that or to do that. And just as a passing thought, it's a really like, it literally happens all the time to me. Like if I get to that place when I'm like that, things happen.
Now
and
do
it's
that,
fun to do it on purpose.
do that from a selfless sense. Like see people that need something and be like, that'd be cool if I could do something for them. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Right. That's how I operate. That's how I feel about seeing shit that I can't do. Like, man, I wish I could.
That's cool.
All right.
Oh, Roberto's done. Roberto's done. Welcome back.
Thank you for talking nonsense until you distract with the public. And I am now ready.
We just went off for a bit.
No, I think my half an hour is gonna be fun. Let's see. Well,
Roberto's like, yeah. What else do you got?
No, but
it would be an interesting assignment this week if we brought back, like next week we could say, hey, this is what happened. It would be kind of fun to say, kind of having the intention of manifesting something very interesting, something very unusual, outside of our normal realm to see what happens.
Dude,
I would love to.
So there's experiments that you can do, and this one's another meditation reference, that if you keep trying to see something specifically and you keep repeating it, it'll appear in real life. And I did this for weeks, and I kept trying to see a blue spoon over and over again, and eventually it actually appeared. And it was so odd that when it finally
$1 million in cash. $1 million in cash. $1 million.
It was so weird that I chose an abstract object, and it was so strange that when it finally appeared, I started to question it. Like, does that count? Like, no way. Like, because it was in a gift shop at some park that I went to, and I was like, no. Like, I just kept going back and looking at it, like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Here's another thing that I've experienced, which is fun. When I've done talks, I used to do talks about my car. I'd get invited, and I'd go up on stage and talk about the car. And then I'd be riffing and having fun. And in that fun, like I went to this one church and Presbyterian, and I started having fun talking, and I started like calling things out on people. Like it's almost like I was like, like I was psychic. I could tell things about them that I'd never met them before.
That's my type of
pastor.
And I'm like,
and it was like, but and I kept doing it to the different kids. There were kids there, and
You're
I
a
could
sinner.
all of a sudden in the
You're
back
a
of the room.
sinner.
No, I sensed the like, hey, we don't do that here. Like I sensed that kind of like, shut the hell up.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's like, and I literally stopped myself because I felt the
vibe.
energy in the back of the room of the elders or whatever they were, telling me to no. Mm-mm. They didn't even say anything, but I just, and then I cut myself off, which is kind of sad. But
Went off
but
into
the
some
kids
Why
were like
not?
blown away.
Hi,
Compared
kids.
to all of you, I did drugs.
I'm not doing drugs.
Dude, in my keynote, I literally told kids that drugs are anything that changes your chemistry. So anything, like I was like tea, coffee, I'm like, I'm a drug addict. I tried to like level it out. And these are teenagers that I'm saying this to.
Yeah.
But it's
How
technically
did that
true.
go?
It
That went
actually
down like
went.
Then they explain to you all about the heavy ones.
that went down like a rat sandwich.
Nah, I was like, people act like drugs are something that you're gonna do and go fall over in a corner. But we're doing them every day, you know?
Here's Joe. Here's the truth about drugs, the teenagers. He's like,
Exactly.
let me open your
You're
eyes.
drinking tea? Ha ha ha. I'm going to tell your parents. No.
Busted.
But yeah.
All right. So, Joe,
going
Enough,
first?
start with
enough
your
about the
thing
woo-woo
that you
stuff.
already.
Well, we're about to get more woo-woo if I go first.
Go ahead, Joe.
Shit, the floor is mine. Okay,
God.
so first of all, how this came to mind, I got a little baby script over here. So I was watching Frankenstein. Have y'all seen the new movie?
Mm-mm.
I know
First
the
of
old
all,
one.
I was super reluctant, didn't care. I was avoiding it because I really thought it was going to be like super slow, heavy accents, a bunch of like important feelings and like drama. And it wasn't like that at all. I was hooked in the first like 5 minutes. And I'm one of those people where I'm like, dude, I exit out of a movie or a show quickly. If it doesn't grab my attention, I'm already over it. So it was really fucking good. From everything from like, I was like, dude, the colors, the actors that were picked were perfect. Like I was just like thinking so deep into it. Like I was immersed in this world that didn't even look real, like fantasy and stuff. And then, so obviously Frankenstein is like a monster created from parts, right? So the idea came to me where I was like trying to experiment. I was like, what kind of stuff has been created for the afterlife where people tried to like communicate with the other side, right? And apparently Edison tried to do that with like the spirit phone. Y'all know about that one?
No.
So yeah, Edison tried to create the spirit phone where he was trying to communicate with the other side. And then,
Okay.
so I started to go deep into like the ethics behind this, where I was like, why wouldn't we have that technology? Like someone probably did exist it. And then AI was like giving me a whole fucking lesson. Like if it did exist, here's why they would suppress it. And it has to do with like how we're not ready for it, how we would like get attached and obsess over it, over this type of technology, like not being able to let something go. So that's kind of where this idea came from. And so here we go. First 10 minutes, I was locked in. I clocked the aesthetic, the color, the music was freaking amazing, by the way. And how many movies are really good with music these days? So,
It's tough.
right. And so coming back, I was like really infatuated because at one point I was like, okay, who is this director? Right. At some point, I'm like, let's zoom out. Who the fuck is directing this movie? And it's
Yeah. When a movie's that good, you want to learn all about it.
right. It was Guillermo del Toro. And so I'm like, what else has he made? Hellboy, Blade. And I'm like, oh, this all makes sense all of a sudden, like why it's so badass. So yeah, let me go further. The part that stuck with me was like, it was the end. The fact that Frankenstein can't die, right? And that's where I started to go into theorizing the immortality aspect of like, can y'all imagine if you had to live forever? Like what that would really be like? Like you'd be making contracts, like whatever with technology companies. There's legal parts that where you're like, no, you can't just back out. You signed this contract. You have to live forever now. And dude, in the movie, they keep trying to kill him and he doesn't die, like from bullets to explosions, and he keeps coming back. So here's where the idea comes in. One sec. Okay, I started thinking all these conversations of afterlife tech, spirit phone, AI ghosts, talking to the dead. And then I realized that's not the problem. The real problem is non-termination, which is what I'm telling y'all. And is immortality scary because it lasts forever or because nothing cleans up after it? What do y'all think about that question? Scary because it lasts forever or because nothing cleans up after it? Give me your opinions on that.
What does that mean, clean up? What's the second part mean?
Like, it's not about cheating death. It's about creating something that outlasts your willingness to stay responsible. That's what I mean by cleanup.
Meaning to see it through.
It's pretty deep. Personally, I would enter as many lifetime subscriptions as I could to like win free chocolate
Right.
for life. And
And
like, yeah,
dude, the
that's
part
me.
that depresses me is I'm like, dude, you'd have to see your like nieces and nephews like grow older than you and pass if they don't even want to be part of it. That's another ethical part. You can't force people to want to live forever that you love, you know?
An interesting thing is, there's a lot of shows I watch where people live forever. For instance, okay, in Star Trek, there's Data, right? So you have Data, who's an android who lives a long time, and now you see Data, and then later Star Trek called Picard, they have Data back in there, and he's like lived for a long time. Granted, he's an android, but he's like, dude, I want. His quest is always to be human. But the ultimate human experience is to die. That is the ultimate, like, that's what it means to be human, is the fact that there's an end date. And so they actually, like, he's living in this matrix in this one episode, and they literally, like pulled the plug on him and he disappears. That's ultimate what he wanted. And then I've seen some other shows where living forever is like, it becomes horrible for these people because
Right.
generations after generations, and they have to,
Right.
like, endless of drama, and like, I mean, yes, they're filthy rich and they live at the top. Carbon. There's a movie on Netflix called Carbon.
Yeah. Yeah. It's carbon.
Yeah, right. I watched this.
And so it's like these people end up like, they're horrible people. You know, they're just like, they have nothing else to live for. They've lived so long. It's like it becomes meaningless.
And in the
Well-
movie, Frankenstein eventually goes back to the doctor and says, I want you to make me a companion. So think about how lonely you got to be that you're like, I need someone that's like me that can also live forever, that can't die.
First of
That's
all,
not gonna last long. I'm just saying.
think that first how you sell eternal life. I said, hey, for your birthday, I give you this present, like don't you install the thing, eternal life. But it should be illegal to give eternal life to procrastinators because
My God. Oh my
at least
God.
you have some urgency in things in life
I'll do it
when
next
you have
century.
to die.
No,
That was a
but
good- that
here's
was
the
a
thing,
good
though. But why not? Like, if you're procrastinating, this is actually the best. You got all the time in the world to maybe
Right.
do something. You know what I mean? Like, what's the
Because-
rush? Why are you pushing me, bro?
If you live forever, mathematically you've done them all, because in forever includes everything. You say, what have you done in your life? Not yet, but you cannot imagine how many amazing things I'm gonna do before I eventually never die. And the
Heisenberg.
things, I think, for those that live forever, the big drama is that planet Earth doesn't live forever. So you first need to install the forever to planet Earth. Then you can make somebody live forever, because 70 billion years the sun is going to expand and burn out everything. If you live forever, that's a very bad way to die eventually, because and also living forever means a car hits you, you're gonna be all the bone broke, suffering like crazy at the hospital, but you cannot die, so you're gonna be alive. So in front of every event of your life, Jab, there was a fantastic movie that this police officer, late in his career, is being diagnosed at the hospital that he had a bad sickness and he had only like a few weeks to live. So he says, if I'm dying, I want to die as a hero. So in any situation that there is, he's gonna jump in the middle. He put himself, at risk of life in a crazy way because he wants to die in action.
That's a great little moral story too.
Then 1 week later, the hospital call him, says, "Oh no, sorry, it was somebody else. You are perfectly fine." So there are terrible situations. They keep calling him, "Hey, come, you're the man." No, like, I'm okay. I don't do anything anymore, because the fact that you can die, in fact, that changes your attitude toward how you related to everything.
I think, how about this for a better question? It's like, why do we want to live forever? Like, what are we, like, for instance, if you believe there's an afterlife, or if you believe there's something after, like, or you don't know what's after, maybe it's like living forever is a way to prolong what comes next. And if you're not sure, if you're afraid, or like, you don't know what comes
Can you
after,
imagine? You
then you want to
suddenly saw
prolong that.
You suddenly saw the live forever thing on you. And then comes out the news that after you die, there is chocolate for everybody forever. like,
No.
no, I want the chocolate. and you can't. So it's very.
I was going to say Heisenberg for the procrastination on your tombstone. I would say, here lies Heisenberg. He was more productive in the last 10 hours of his life than the first
Oh my
10,000 years.
I had this song about thought about afterlife. Like, okay, believing in like the afterlife, you know, I had this idea is like I could live for eternity, and if I wanted to, I could take 1,000-year nap. If I wanted to, I could do that. Like I could do that. That's like it's an option, and then spend another 1,000 years working on a project. Because if you take away, like if you say the afterlife is perfect, you know, you're not dealing with getting run over by a car. You're not dealing with like broken bones. You like the afterlife. You're the spirit self, or you know, your true self goes into this place where it's perfect, and you have all the time in the world, and you can do all kinds of things. You can take 1,000-year nap if you wanted to. You can work on a single project for 1,000 years, and it would be fun. You can spend your time sitting at the beach for 5,000. You know, like you can do whatever you want for as long as you want. It would be pleasurable. It's just a thought.
But the client, they wait for 1,000 years for the project to
Bruh,
be
There's
finished.
no clients. There's no
They're calling
clients.
from the afterlife. I just knew you were going to call.
I mean, it's
That sounds like hell to me, you know, like you keep calling you every other day for 1,000 years, you know. How is
no.
the project?
I'm not
working
working
on
for
it,
anybody.
give it-
I'm not working for everybody. I'm working. I'm like, don't you get lost in a project? Everybody here has done a project where you've lost track of time, right? So imagine
Yeah.
the afterlife is like that, like thousands of billion, like where you lose track of time working on something very interesting
What's
to you that brings you
funny-
pleasure.
What's
No, like the other day, I purchased a puzzle. It was written 3 to 5 years, and I did it in half an hour, you know, like it's insane.
well, I think
Puzzle 3 to 5 years.
Costas-
That's funny, dude.
Costas just described like a hedonist's paradise.
I
Pretty
did?
hilarious. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about pleasure and shit, imagine someone that just lives for pleasure and they're just like massages for life forever, just
But this is
sex
Bali.
and sweets and you know what I mean, just pleasure consuming all over. That I can imagine
Yeah,
people
but-
living like that.
But we think of, you see, I think we think of pleasure differently now, because to us pleasure now
Yeah,
is
it's your phone and TikTok.
is- it's like it's addictive, it's got issues. But what if pleasure was like pure pleasure, where it's like it's a good thing, it's not addictive, it doesn't hurt anybody, it doesn't, like, there's no, you know what I mean, like not in the sense that we think of it here, where pleasure is like a bad. Why is pleasure a bad thing? First of all, you call it hedonistic.
This is because that's to religion. Religion is trying to remove every pleasure from people. Any
Right.
sort of
And it's-
pleasure become a sin.
And it's all subjective anyway, right? Because who's to say your pleasure isn't like going to church, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if pleasure was like enjoying a book? Pleasure was like, you know, having a great this is pleasure, like
Hanging
having
with
a
your
great
boys.
conversation with friends. Yes, that's a pleasurable thing. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? I think religion has put a damper on some stuff. I mean, yeah, doing heroin is not good for you. Obviously, you know, crack and some things are not good for you. But anyways,
Wait,
That
did
was-
it work? Did it work? I was trying to share my screen.
What were you? I thought you were just giving the stage to Heisenberg. You're like, here, just go.
yeah, here, talk more. Yeah. Post-Mortality Accord.
Okay,
I resent the fact that it's a Word document. I just want to
it's fine. It's all images anyway.
express my displeasure,
It's literally all
I just wanna-
images.
express my
Okay, so
my distaste for
there's the happy
Times
face.
Roman.
the happy face
It's like,
because I
where's
knew
my
you were
slide decks?
Where's
So,
my freaking?
the
I want
invention.
Montserrat. I want. That's it.
It's not a gadget. It's not a device. It's a policy nightmare. Post-mortality accord. Basically, what rules would have to exist once death stops administrative work for society. Because right now, death handles unfinished relationships, abandoned systems, unresolved guilt, ethical messes we don't want to deal with. But if we remove death and all that comes back to the living, pause. You ready for it? Here's my question for y'all. What do you think death is currently covering for in society? Any answers to that?
What? Say that. Rephrase the question. What is death covering?
What is death currently
I like every
covering
question
for?
goes, like, it's
Like, what are we covering
a
for?
good way
in death?
out. You consider in the past you have a debt you cannot pay, you better kill yourself because unlive yourself, as they say in YouTube, because that was the way out from situations. In Italy, we just had a tragedy. This guy stabbed and killed his wife. His parents hanged themselves out of the shame of what
Damn.
the son had done, or
Damn.
because they helped him bury the body, one of the two. So it is, sometimes the way out from a heavy situation, right? I guess.
I mean, what
It's a
if you
good
just
way
got
out.
old and fucking? I mean, what do you mean death is covered? I mean, eventually we're all
Like-
gonna die. I mean,
No, like what is it covering for? Like what does it cover up? You know what I mean? In that aspect. Like, okay, so rule 1, there's no exit life extension. So here's the contract. If you opt into radical life extension, there's no unsubscribe button later. There's no, I didn't realize forever would feel like this. There's no free trial. There's no pause menu. Would you sign that contract today? Yes or no?
Yes.
Ooh.
If there is no blue screen of that,
I don't think I
It's
could.
just black.
it
Blacking
was a
out is
demo
blue
version.
screen.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, if
Oh, that's
not,
creepy.
That
if
just
not,
gives you more time to procrastinate. I mean, if you had a finite time, you're like, dude, I gotta
Okay.
get busy.
so here's the question. If you say no, is it because you don't want immortality and you just want time with an exit? You want to be able to choose when you leave,
That
right?
would be amazing too.
I don't think we can choose when we leave.
Because what I'm trying to say is like humans think that we want this like to live forever until we realize, well, we don't want to have no say so at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's
Well,
true.
I would say no because of all the movies I've seen, it doesn't end well.
so
Or
this
it
is where
doesn't end
this
at
is where
all. That's the
Frankenstein
problem.
where so this is where Frankenstein up because the creature can't leave. Victor has no protocol for that, so he runs, right? And then he resents him because he tries to like kill him in the movie. Rule number 2, the companion mandate, which I talked about earlier. If you create someone who can't die, you don't get to leave them alone forever. You must provide a peer under the same temporal rules. So not a caretaker, not a therapist, not an AI that asks how you're feeling every 6 minutes, an actual peer. So pause right here.
I
Question. No, go ahead. What?
No, I disagree with the fact that you need somebody. You can have different friend among time.
Right, you're just friending animals and shit.
Why you should be alone in the planet? There is a lot of people that live the regular life, but also animals are not bad as a like
So is loneliness a
live
personal
forever, snake
failure?
bite.
Or is it a design flaw once existence becomes permanent? Who is actually responsible for making sure someone isn't alone forever?
All right,
think
the
you're-
fact that you need to take a bath sometime, you live forever, at least once every 2 years, take a shower. That's the reason why people wasn't your friend, because you smell terrible. If you keep yourself clean, you're gonna have plenty of friends, and you're a little funny, no problem. I think
think-
that there is no solitude in living forever. Actually, it gives you the option to get to know people
Right.
from different.
And this is the
areas.
part that makes people uncomfortable because it's not even companionship. It stops being romantic, right? It's just structure, infrastructure.
It's an arranged marriage.
I think
Right.
solitude is a great thing. I don't know why people are afraid of solitude. I mean, I'd rather be by myself.
You're an introvert. We understand that. But the rest
Okay,
of the
okay.
world,
Oh, I see. I mean, to me, like being by myself is like, dude. I mean,
right, it's all peaceful.
it's amazing, bro. I don't
Okay.
know. Wait, who?
A lot of
who
the
here
world-
prefers to be alone?
Probably
just
all of
me?
us.
I appreciated going to the movie by myself. That's been the turning point where before I was judging people alone at the movie.
Let him finish.
Okay. So rule number 3, I'm almost done, I swear to God. When someone hits psychological saturation, burnout, stagnation, they don't die, they offload. Okay, here's the crazy part. They have guilt, people have regret, they have unfinished obligations. No, there's not like the highlight reel, it's just unpaid invoices. Who would you trust to inherit your unresolved stuff? Would you ever agree to inherit someone else's grief or unresolved trauma? Because think about the fact that when we die, all these memories come to the surface, your regrets right before you die. Imagine if you knew you had to like offload that or let someone else see it, or if we could even record that, like if we had that data. That's like you're letting people live past their death. And this is why it would never work. There's all these like legal implications and, people would be pissed. There'd be lawsuits like crazy. Privacy issues. So who would you trust? Would you even offload it to anybody?
Can you? Unless you're talking about that movie called Carbon. What is it?
Right.
Carbon.
You might feel some guilt to like let people know what you regret or what you didn't
Well,
do.
yeah. I mean, that's why you erase your history before you die. You always erase because you don't want someone to get into your computer.
Man, it's so much. You see, that's what you think, but now with AI and all our data being collected, you can just replicate how you would talk or how you think. You've seen
I wouldn't
those
want anybody
apps
to.
where they
I
like,
wouldn't want anybody to have my stuff. I don't think that's a right thing to do to somebody else. Like everybody has their own stuff. Why would you upload it to somebody else? Like, why would you burden somebody with your stuff when they have their own stuff to deal with?
right. But there's also a lot to learn from that, don't you think?
Yeah, but you got enough. You got enough learning in your own head. Thanks. No thanks. I don't need your
But
thoughts,
you don't think
Joe. I don't need
for
Chris,
sure.
Roberto.
But it's
I
like
don't need your thoughts. I got my.
you can imagine that data though, where it's like humanity's biggest regret is blank. They wish they would have done this, so don't make this mistake. Like you can see
But
people
it doesn't
learning
matter.
from
Dude,
it.
that's the thing though. People don't learn that way. People don't learn. Most people don't learn that way. They don't see another. Most people don't see another person screwing up and say, I shouldn't do that. Most people are not like they have to. Or when you tell your kids, hey, don't do that, they're like, nah, Dad, you're crazy, and then they have to learn it themselves. Like everybody has to learn these lessons themselves.
The funniest part is every guy's been like, I should have got her phone number, but you can't tell a guy to do that until they experience the regret.
Exactly. Then he learned. Hopefully, the second time he gets their phone number. Hopefully, he's not an idiot. Like, you know what I mean? Because second time you're just like, dude, I can't help you there.
You're like, what do I have to lose at some point? Okay,
right. I
so
feel like that. Oh, go ahead.
No, go for it.
I was going to say with the immortality living over thousands of years, the amount of history that you would know, and I feel like people would treat you as like their personal ChatGPT when they want real, unbiased, first person perspective of what really happened back then, or what was this like? What was your experience?
Right, elder on another level.
You forget even things. Damn, I don't remember what I had for lunch yesterday.
That's
I would remember 700
point.
years ago who
Dude,
killed who.
Good point, bro.
Does your memory keep up with you? Yeah, right.
Good ass point. So, last paragraphs here. Why this made me realize we're not ready. Because the only ethical version of immortality is nobody wants. Let me repeat that. Because the only ethical version of immortality is one that nobody wants. And that tells you everything. Frankenstein didn't fail because creation was wrong. It failed because responsibility scaled faster than empathy. That's wild. So is the only version of immortality that works requires more accountability than we're willing to give. What does that say about us?
Flawed.
I like it.
We're flawed human beings.
We live.
Going through my last of my images here with this lonely man in the universe all by himself. Here he is aged out. Like, man, I've lived thousands of years. Should I jump off this ship?
It is the guy that jumped from the air balloon up in the stratosphere, right?
I mean, look at his face full of regret and years of wisdom. Look at that face.
He looks surprised.
How did we get this camera up here?
Exactly, the guy that took the picture.
I know, who's taking the selfie? Is he the last guy left?
I thought I was the last guy on Earth.
Is he the last guy on Earth, Joe?
I don't know.
Maybe
like it. The hell's on his back?
It was up there because the air on the ground is not breathable anymore. So people need to start living on floating houses.
He would jump
above the pollution.
Here's the thing: if I was him and I had nobody to share my life with, which is important, like that's what grandparents do, and parents, they kind of pass on the knowledge and the wisdom, and they get to be with their kin or their children. If that guy has nobody else to talk to, nobody else to share that wisdom, it's like, I mean, I'm jumping. If I was him, I'd be like.
So here's my conflict with this shit. Here's what I thought of that actually conflicted me. I was like, doesn't it suck to be Da Vinci and not see your inventions come to life? Because plenty of people don't get to see, their ideas come to fruition. You're just exactly. You're just way too early for time.
I fell in love with a pigeon, so it tells you what this situation give to you. You go nuts.
Wow.
Dude, it's sad when there's people ahead of. I mean, Tesla was ahead of his time. There's a lot of people ahead of their time they're considered heretics at the time because they're like, well, I don't know. I mean, you know, it's
Galileo
sad.
Galilei.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Burned.
We always got to put their talons in there. No, sorry, always you know.
The earth
But-
goes around the sun, and the church are like,
Yo,
no, the sun goes around the earth. You know?
300 years that it took for the church to apologize. That's wild.
Yeah, but the damage is already done, unfortunately. Like,
How long
you know,
is it gonna
the
take to
person
ice?
suffered. You know, they're not just suffered. He died. 300 years later, they apologize. Like, so what?
So if you
Right.
then
and
if
there's
he
still
was living
flat earth
forever,
theories.
wouldn't he have enjoyed the, you know, look how long the UK took to forgive Turing as well. Time gets shorter, you know, like
Right.
Turing as being, you know, like arrested and pretty much died because he was homosexual.
And
which
what's
at the time was
crazy
something.
is the people who have been silenced, there's like usually some truth there. You don't shut people up because they were like wrong.
Yeah.
That never happens.
Yeah.
So it's almost like worth
I
studying
see.
people that have been silenced for a reason.
How about this? How many people have been silenced that we don't know about?
Touche.
Because they've been silenced. Else it didn't work. So
Like,
those that we know
right.
is those that didn't
Right.
work very
But
well.
That's why
I
they
mean,
like.
no, those we know about actually made it through. But there's people right now who are getting off, who are getting unalive
Sure.
because they know something, they discovered something, invented something that the powers that be don't want that coming into the world. I mean, I don't know who, but man, I bet it's in the thousands.
Dude,
just
probably more
the
than
word of
that.
the electric car against. There are millions of things that will disrupt something, and when you
yes.
disrupt
And-
something, you need to pay
and
attention on who lives on the sun.
Don't forget
Yeah.
that whenever inventions come along, like remember the guy that made a water powered car? That was a long time ago. But instead, they just make it sound like, yo, he's crazy. This would never work. They just like refute the science. They don't even study it any further. Just shut that shit down.
Yeah, because it's going to disrupt a large industry and supply chain of many other things, you know. So I think
I mean, think about it. Like, I mean, they do that to Hollywood stars. You know, they call them all kinds of names, and they have breakdowns, and there's, you know, they do that. I believe it's an opinion that they do that to them on purpose to just make them break. They break them in that such a way.
And dude, the shit they put
now
in their
they're discredited.
contracts, the shit they put in their
Huh?
contracts is like, oh, you want to speak up? You want to lose this shit? It's basically like all embedded
Yeah.
into there. You can't speak.
Yeah. And if they
We-
do, they
we-
get discredited in the most horrific way. Like look at all the people. I mean,
Let-
anyways.
there's something that I was thinking about. This
I'm
is
not so
somehow
sorry.
related. Then I can do with my up and out. But I was thinking this: there are two different kind of people that make money with their business. Those that make a fortune and they disappear because maybe they bought the yachts and they start traveling around the world. And those then, till the day they die, they keep working hard on what they're doing, you know, which means that even if you have a fortune, but you are stuck on that. So that gives you the difference between somebody that has a passion or has a mission or has that is aiming life to achieve something, and money is a collateral that come to them that almost is annoying somehow. It's empowering on certain aspect, but it doesn't have nothing to do with what was their goal. And those that actually, once they did the money, they say, okay, I don't, you know, like at this point I'm good off and, you know, like I don't need to do this anymore. And I think if you bring this in other aspects of life, like voicing your opinion on something, the earth is flat, for example, right? You can do it for trolling, you can do it for the fun of it, you can be totally convinced, but, you know, be ashamed of what you want to say, or you go ahead with your idea until there is nothing else you can do because you are at the end of your days. And, you know, at least I would appreciate even somebody that tells me the earth is flat and is convinced of it to make it his life mission until ever. You know, like I have more respect about somebody rather than saying, look, this is $1 million if you go speak at the conference and support the idea that the earth is flat, even if I don't believe
Right.
it. Just
It's because there's the person that thinks I'll be good for life if I do X. And there's the person that's like, oh, I could fund all this other work. It's literally one or the other.
What would you guys be if you came into that kind of wealth? Would you like early retirement, or would you just keep working?
Dude, retirement is like funding inventions. So I have.
So
yeah,
I come up with.
I was in the situation that I didn't need to work anymore, me and my kids, and I invested everything on something, and it didn't go well. So I'm back to base now to
See,
do
no,
it
yo,
again.
but if you're as smart as you are, you're not worried about it because if you can make $1 million, you'll just
Right,
make it
that's
again.
correct.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
But
I think for me, is working on something. Working on something is life. Like for me, what gets me up in the morning is creating whatever that is. Have an idea or the TikTok thing. I was like obsessed with TikTok for the last 2-3 months. That was like getting up in the morning, have an idea, and being able to turn that idea into a video within minutes. It fired my brain up in the most amazing way. Like to be able to take this sense of humor or whatever it is that I've experienced in the last 54 years and turn that into a video that's like makes people laugh and respond. That is a beautiful thing. So for me, no matter what the money situation is, I will wake up every morning and do something creative, create something and put it out there. That's just me.
now I take what Costas is saying, Heisenberg, pardon, and I bring it to my half an hour. Joe, you're done with your living forever thing?
Yeah.
You
I
want to
was
talk it?
my last.
You
No,
live
the last
forever.
sentence I was just gonna say was I genuinely believe I can reverse engineer anything. So I'm always coming up with shit like literally multiple ideas a week. My motto for my business, Joe Cat LLC, is innovating the essence of convenience. So I'm always looking for
Ooh.
problems. I literally look for problems everywhere so I can find solutions.
Because when you said I always come up with shit, I think coming out with shit is an important part of your body, function, and
But
it
I
should be
can't.
done
I
regularly,
can.
like in a daily.
I get it, but what I'm saying is I literally
Yeah,
can't
I
help.
understand.
I can't help thinking of ideas. It just happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
I
right.
see.
So now
I
that
see
you can, and then
contradictions.
look.
It's
You
like
need to
breathing.
think to idea. Costa says he can create. I want to introduce my thing. Consider I prepared, looking like a dumb person until you guys spoke for 20 minutes.
We'll see how
Now,
prepared you really are.
this is my show and tell. First, I want to ask each of you an idea, and then if I like them, good. If not, I put on mine. If we had to do a small application, a web app that was fun to do, maybe is curious, people see, they want to try, what would be about? Something social, I guess. I don't know. I had a couple ideas that came to mind really in these minutes where I was talking with you, but let's see one by one. Costas, what would be your idea?
Can it be feasible or unfeasible?
Not feasible, obviously.
Sure.
Something that can not too complicated, even
Okay.
something simple.
Can you go around? I haven't. I don't have an
I don't
answer.
know.
Chris.
no, I don't want to. I'm I'm not here to answer. I'm here to ask a question. What was the question? I heard social or something.
A small app that we can do that can go viral, something that can generate
app.
something else. What it could be?
The first one that came to mind, honestly, was like a money converter from every currency and every crypto, all in one.
But there are plenty around of those things.
But with
I
everything
think
all in one.
when we're talking, I was thinking this is a wall where there is a bar on the bottom. You can enter your piece of text like "I love everybody" or some whatever you want, and you create a bubble with your
I got it.
message inside. They keep floating, so the next person enters something else. So you have this ensemble of bubble, and bubble after the screen is full or whatever. This sort of disappearing, popping off. So there is always a 10 bubble in the screen, and when you add the 11, that something like that. I was thinking. And so people can go there and see the message of the other people.
I have an idea.
Yeah, there's an idea. For example, I don't know, something simple that
Okay.
is
Well,
social.
mine was called the dot above your head. I have a whole Substack on it where you wear VR glasses, and the dot above your head, depending on the color, tells people if you want to be interacted with or not. Like this person's open to conversation. This person does not want to be disturbed. So it would make the approach way more easier. And I actually pitched it to
Okay.
Meta. So Meta, if you see this, I pitched it, and
You know it was
I
you.
did. Yeah, but it's called the dot above your head.
The dot above it is something that can be. You can set the mood. I like the idea to set the mood on. Okay.
I have an idea. I don't know if it's possible. It'd be cool to be able to turn your dreams into movies, like like, and then post them on social.
With AI can do.
Yeah, with AI,
That would be
like
dope.
AI
That'd be sick.
somehow. Your link app, it records,
Here's your highlights.
and then you can cut and edit.
You like go back like a Ring camera, like, yeah, we detected
Dude,
3 monsters in
hold
your
on.
dream.
But you know what's
Go
wild?
back to that time.
You know what's wild? When that shit starts to make money, you're like, I need to sleep more.
Just constant sleep.
I need to take some crazier pills or some
you don't
shit.
even have to be awake. I mean, asleep. You can literally like record your imagination, like the things that you come up with, like and it records it, and then it turns into a video or an action or a like a like an AI, what do you call it, like an agent
Dude.
where it does something.
Oh, you just reminded me. In that book that I'm reading, the tests that they did, they basically proved that there's a signal that appears before your thought even gets processed, meaning that there's like a subconscious before you even think that you realize something, your brain has already processed it, which is crazy. There's like a ghost behind your subconscious. It's nuts. Does that even make sense?
Totally makes sense. I had this one experience with somebody who had a thought they wanted to mess with. Like, I was standing somewhere and they were gonna like kind of do something to fight me or something, right? So I perceived that thought that they were coming up and they were gonna mess with me. Just, they're a friend of mine. And so what I did before they even did anything, I blocked them. And they're like, "What are you doing?" Well, I said to them, I said, "I perceived that you were gonna mess with me, and so I blocked you preemptively." And they're like, "What?"
Right.
It
Right.
freaked them out.
And the reaction happens before you can even put words to it, before you can describe it. Right. And so they tested that electrical signal appears and they see it in your brain before you even recognize and can describe it or say what's happening. There's a signal there. That's insane.
Wouldn't it be a great app to be able to train yourself to be able to enhance that neural activity so you could do it more and more? Like intuition and things like that.
Yeah, the app is meditation, good sir.
Okay. Well, that takes too long.
Right, but the people, dude, go research Jack Dynamo, or is it Dynamite? The guy that was healing people by literally, like, he would tell people that they could not come back to see him after he would heal them, or else they would get sick again. Right.
It was collecting sickness from people. But this is all incredible, difficult, and strange VR things. I'm talking about
20 years of
simple thing.
meditation, by the way.
A simple app, like I'm describing it, an empty screen with a text bar at the bottom. There's a send button on the right. And people can type 250 characters maximum long messages. And when they send it, it becomes a bubble with a message that floats in the screen. Screen is light blue on the background. The bubbles are white with a gray border. When 20 bubbles are floating and the new one is created, the oldest and older, the oldest one disappear.
What if
One
you like
disappear.
what if you
It
like
almost
someone's
sounds
float
like-
bubble?
around.
Sounds like
Huh?
sending balloons up in the air and they go drift somewhere
Right,
else.
exactly, with a message. Or it could be bottles in the ocean, like a message in the bottle or whatever,
Oh, that's cool.
Message in the bottle. You send it out, and then somebody randomly gets it around the world. Like it
So
pops
people
up on
can
their.
click on the bottle to open the message. That will be fun. But you can, with IP address, one message per day maximum. You can send one message maximum. You can
Ooh.
open one maximum.
What if it uses the actual flow of the oceans, the currents? So if you're in Florida, you throw a bottle in and it goes somewhere like predictably where naturally the flow would go.
The current
Well, that's
goes
cool.
in
The garbage rift where it
Scotland.
just stops.
That's where
You
the
get a
garbage
message.
thoughts go. If you have like a shitty thought, it just goes there.
You get a pop
My
message.
God,
A shark is eating your
I'm
message.
polluting.
My
I'm
God,
polluting.
that's a horror.
That guy
that's
is not
funny.
procreating.
We like your idea, Roberto. It's got some.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a
Sounds
cool
great.
idea.
It's got some fins
Sounds great.
instead of
Got
some
some
legs.
fins.
Some fins.
Because my show and tell is this. We're gonna vibe code that is live now.
Snap.
And then test it ourselves. And then people can actually go there and play with it under the Forturama experiment. And every week can be something different.
That's nuts. We're doing it
Super
live,
cool.
y'all. We need the camera behind him over the shoulder. Over his
Give her the
shoulder.
old
I'm vibe
F it will do it
coding.
live.
And
Yeah, if I could
Okay.
build off of that kind of Roberto's idea plus Joe Cat with like the telepathy remote viewing. What if you could kind of put people out or like
And
kind
you
of like a
can predict
meditation app?
the message inside the bubble. You can say,
Yeah,
this
you can
message
predict the
says,
message inside the bubble, or let's say it matches you with everyone like-minded people who are thinking about the same thing.
It's called Grinder, bro. They already have that.
like,
Sorry.
dude, and the funny part is the issue is always being matched with someone you're not attracted to. So how do we fix that, Roberto? It's like, no, I love your
What?
thoughts, but
all right.
Roberto, we got to make sure they're attractive. Whoever you get matched
Do we
to.
let AI rank
Let me
people?
try to see
Wait.
if
Is there a
what?
dating app called Catfish? Just straight up, like it's
It's made for catfishing.
yeah, it's exactly that. So when you end up there, you end up maybe surprised because you literally know that you're getting catfished, and that's the point. The point is
Oh,
to get
wow.
catfished, and you show up and you don't know. It'd be kind of interesting.
I mean, it fits with the ocean
Well,
theme.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Actually, catfish are primarily freshwater.
No. Damn.
So I guess I need to close and reopen my browser in order to
Are you vibe coding right now,
activate
bro?
the sharing.
Bro, in the middle
Oh
of
my
our
God,
podcast, bro, you're vibe
That is
coding.
I
gotta
cannot
be.
do it exactly. So
We can't.
what I'm gonna do? Let's see. I can share the tab where the application should potentially appear.
I know an app. It's an app where it's a cam. It's watching a guy vibe code. You can just check
Ooh.
in and just watch that all day
Or-
long.
Or I
You can
can
just
use
input
my
ideas.
webcam to show
Dude.
the vibe coding side.
Dude,
Let's see.
or
What app?
an app that makes your phone overheat so you can keep your coffee warm.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's
So this is
they already make those.
vibe.forturama.com. And here I am. That's gonna be difficult. But next time I'm gonna show also the
Next time.
vibe coding aspect. Let me see if
You have a D
is
grade right
empty
now. Your grade is a D.
message.
Will?
I set the settings, but strangely, it wasn't never activated before.
$10
Okay,
for
let's-
90% of your company.
Dun.
Okay, you saw the empty screen. Let's see what happened with yours, with the participation of all. Because if we think well enough, we can also. This was my idea. We start with a good idea. And I tell you that because I just did this in the past few days. Start with a good idea and get it to be created. And every week we can add the new functions to that. So we make it grow. And as we go ahead with our show, this application can become large and can potentially people pay money to actually use it. And if I was using OpenAI, we should give them some money too because they want partnership on all the ideas that you do with
Well,
OpenAI, which is a terrible
I
thing.
think they'll be
you're
all
already paying
right.
for the subscription, right?
Exactly. But I have a paid subscription with another AI, which is better.
You can't be cheating
than
on your AI girlfriends
OpenAI.
now.
Well,
That's funny, dude.
So you think I just gave the instruction that I read to you before. So just a small paragraph. You think it's gonna make it? It's gonna work? We can actually all of us be able to test it and make bubbles as messages, maximum one per user per day.
that would be great. I wonder who's going to be the first to abuse it.
Right, exactly. To right nasty thing. I also added this that if somebody include a link in the message, then the link should be clickable and open in another tab. So at least the
Well, if
website
you
is
live
visible.
forever, you're abusing it for sure.
Okay, so we can discuss other things. I cannot share the event of the coding appearing and going automatically, but it's already creating the application and the files. If it works and it's fun, it's gonna be interesting to see how people. And all of you get ready to go to vibe.com.
Oh yeah, it says works.
I just updated the IP address.
Okay, so I'm gonna be able also to add Forturamas to the website.
So
Not secure. SSL warning, warning, warning.
Uh,
so my only
We'll get that
confusion
figured out.
is you
It's
had
gonna
kind of
take a
said
second.
we would plug it into like a bar, like that would be the use case.
there is a text bar, like a Google bar. Rather than search, it's gonna be
I thought you
send,
meant like
know,
literally
so
going to a bar and having these. All right, got you.
Oh yeah, for a good
Can I
time
have a
call,
beer,
we're just
Christian?
taking bathroom messages and putting them online.
I really am dumb on that one. All right,
I like it. Everyone would love that idea. Drunken messages from the bar.
dude.
How about an app where you can write numbers on the bathroom stall?
Wow.
That's
Leave-
another cool thing.
Leave a message for
Oh
the
my
last
God, the
person in the
message.
bathroom.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The message says,
No,
"I didn't wash my hands."
I will tell you this pretty much. My wife is opening a spa. And she, with the help of ChatGPT, created all these intricate set of Google Sheets to manage all the therapists, the appointments, the clients,
Nice.
prepare the receipt at the end of the service, the taxation, everything.
Nice.
But obviously, you cannot keep things in a spreadsheet because they're not secure and safe and stable. So I said, I'm going to make you an application. But because in Bali there are about trillion spas, I said, why don't I make an application where I can generate new spas and, like a brand, and each brand can have 10 outlets.
Bro, you need all the
And I can
spas to
sell
come
it
to
as a
you.
service.
Yep.
Yeah, I can as a service, because pretty much I created one thing time ago and I did the experience. So now I created this mega prompt that I asked an AI to split in multiple prompts. I spent the night feeding all these small prompts to the AI that built everything. And it's pretty much something that can, once I finish working on it, it can generate quite a lot of money because it's a service that is needed. It gives, even made the WordPress plugin. So if you have a WordPress website, you can add and make the booking through the plugin.
Very nice.
I can create, like a payment system. People can subscribe and pay per month based on the number of number of people that
So
they have.
it sounds like it makes bookkeeping easier, right?
Everything from the person that is a client and can see the history of the past experience they
Nice.
had with the spa. And they can say, for example, the therapist was amazing. I would like to go and ask back for the therapist because she gives happy ending. And I don't know, for other reasons.
Sweet spot behind the buttocks.
And to the fact that the therapists themselves can rate clients. When there is the appointment, there is this nice calendar. You can drag and drop the appointment, make it longer, short, whatever you want, assign it to different rooms, etc., etc. And then if the client doesn't show up, automatically put a bad grade on the client. So even clients are rated how dangerous it is to take a booking from that. So it is very cool, and really took me a short time.
Imagine in the details, you can be like groans when you rub their shoulder.
Yeah, right. The
Soft
comments
spot
and,
behind the ears.
also the coupons to give discounts and all these
More
things.
likely to get
So
a
it's
tip
all-
if you focus on their scalp.
Oh my gosh, dude. Can you imagine it's got like every person mapped out? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, then you're like, why do we need a masseuse? We just feed that into a robot. And
We'll
just, like,
kick you out of the
Correct.
room if you get naked. Do not get naked.
it's ready to be integrated with the robot to give the massage automatically, so it can move it and custom made on the client.
Likes to be
Anyway,
yelled
just to
at.
say that it would have taken forever in the past to do something like this, and now it's very fast. And
Right.
yet it's
One
very
day.
useful. So I don't think it's gonna last forever, because maybe in a few years people can just say, I need the website to manage my spa. And
Maybe I'll make it. I'll
the
make it
AI
for
does
$1.
everything, but it doesn't have this function. Choom, added. But for now, we are in a moment that is a golden time to surf this wave where, with the knowledge of how the problem is solved, you can create exactly what is needed and monetize it. In the meanwhile, we're talking since before, it's still working. What is interesting that see how complex the application is. One time I get it work for 2 hours. Now it's 8 minutes and 16 seconds of elaborating solution. I want to see if only in one interaction is gonna produce the website with the bubbles, and it's going to
What
be
app are you
interesting.
using to do this?
I work with many coding agents. I don't vibe code honestly because those are I think is too much, but I like to
I
see the
hate the
code
words
directly to
vibe
production.
coding.
Those
I
are,
don't even like that term.
but is
What
a
would be
coding
the
assistant. You can even use it to get them to do the full thing themselves. So, but it's
Mhm.
actually working the terminal and is in the server and is coding the things to be working there. Cloud code is one of the best. Many people says Grok is good. I cannot find to work it with it in a satisfactory way.
Dude,
Gemini
GPT is
is
so
amazing to
bad.
solve precise problems.
GPT is
Mhm.
It
so
is good for
bad.
content, but I start
I mean,
politically.
I used GPT to do the code script to put like a timer on the funnel. That's amazing to me, dude. Like it just
Mhm.
and there's a couple of tweaks, he had fonts and boom, done. My God, that's it. Oh, dude. Okay, so I
It's
had
finished,
okay.
but it says that I need
Run it.
to. What is the problem? No.
Tell your
Yeah.
story, Costas. What were you saying?
Well, yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead,
sure.
and I
No,
see it
so I mean,
didn't. If
again, I'm not a coder, but like I have a client who had a Wix account, all these blog posts, and I wanted to get them over to a WordPress site. I didn't want to cut and paste everything, so I uploaded a plugin that allows you to upload JSON. And I went to the ChatGPT Atlas, and I said, "Look at this page. Turn this page into a JSON." So then I can download it and upload it to the website, and it like freaking did it. Like it took me a
nice?
second, a couple, but I don't even understand JSON.
Right.
But
Right.
that was the solution. It's amazing
Yeah.
because there's no plugin to get Wix. I hate Wix. Wix
Maybe that's your app idea. That's your plugin. Vibe code that. Auto
Wix.
pull Wix WordPress websites using JSON
Dude, I couldn't even
in
get
the
it.
background.
I couldn't get it to rename some files today, and I was pissed. I just gave up. I was like, and I could have just done it manually, but it was the principle of proving how bad it did not work. I was like, I'm trying again. You don't
did you guys
understand.
try Cloud Cloud as an app to install in your computer to use Cloud? And if you have a paid account, there is the option to manage your computer. So the renaming the file will be
Sick.
one example. So
Sick.
you can just say do this, boom, and it does. It was my fault that it didn't manage to complete it, so I didn't do anything. I just needed to allow the AI to write, which seems something I didn't do before.
There's
So now it's writing. So
okay.
it's my bad that it prepared everything, but it couldn't output in the server.
Wait. So explain what you just
Okay.
you use Claude.
Everything
to
is
tell me-
ready. It says everything is deployed and ready. Here's what's set up. The index and the full application, and then the data in order to get all the messages people say, and then the future. So let's go and try to. Let me share my screen again and see from where we were, how we end up to get this. Let's see. I try to
So
refresh
Roberto,
the page.
what's the best AI to help you write code?
Claude.
Which one did you say?
So here we go. There is a blue screen. You guys see it? There is the type a message bar on the bottom,
Mhm.
maximum 250 characters. My message is we will only reach vibe coding
What's the
and then
URL to that?
play our adventure at http. Okay, so you guys have sent your bubbles. Let's see. I try to send it. There is my bubble is floating on the screen. You
We will all be
guys
vibe coding.
How do we get to that site?
is vibe.forturama.com.
That's funny. Before you fully uploaded it, I saw the wrapper that's behind the scenes, and I'll be
Right.
interested to see it. Yeah.
Well, I can share the code and
see.
we can make it downloadable.
Vibe.forturama.com. It's not showing up.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Vibe.forturama. Not coming up for me. It's not liking me.
Worked for me. You're probably spelling it wrong.
VIBE.
Dot for turama.com. For a good time, Collider. What's the deal with the line food? Somebody wrote.
That was me.
I
Dude,
think
can I? How about this idea to add to this? So you know how you know spinners, you spin two tops and they fight each other, and
Mhm.
right.
So what if like you put an idea out that's more powerful than somebody else's, and it bumps them off, like it smashes them, like as it's floating around.
Yeah, well, maybe this bubble can be an idea wall. People post ideas and other people can vote inside the bubble, which is the nicest idea.
Oh, it locked me out. I already sent a message today.
Right? So you are
Wait, the premium for
remembering-
99 cents? Yes, please.
Can you put the link in the chat? Is that possible?
Yeah, I'll drop it in.
Absolutely.
This is actually a good idea because imagine if every week people were voting on how to improve it.
Right.
So the idea that I wanted to suggest you all, and this is my half an hour that went much longer than half an hour, but it was to start something like this silly that we can vibe code, and I promise my computer is gonna share also the vibe coding part, that we grow every week. So every week we add something to it that
Okay,
is
that's
gonna
cool.
make these things a mean.
Sounds like fun.
Next week, we
Okay.
turn the bubbles into
So-
airplanes.
Sure.
Little message
I
airplanes.
still can't get in
open
on
up.
there. I'd love to contribute to this thing, but it just won't let
I
me
just
in.
emailed you, Heisenberg.
Yes, sir.
Did a reply all. That way that way he's not left out here.
Heisenberg is technologically challenged.
Okay.
We wait for Heisenberg to post his bubble, then I'm gonna stop sharing.
Trying to think of what else to add.
Right. We can also connect with AI. I'm gonna create this is a simple app done locally. There is no database usage. There is no connection to AI. There is nothing. But we can start doing more fun things
Dude,
like
so
connecting
imagine-
to a database.
Imagine this was on a TV screen in a bar, and you're like, I'm at the table in the corner.
Yeah. You know, when I was a teenager, there was this bar that had a phone. Every table had an actual phone, and you can call the other table's number. So table 17, you do 17, and it rings the phone there. Yeah, I like to talk with the
Wow.
blonde girls. You know,
Wow.
Or you can
It
use
was
it to
very fun.
embarrass people. Who's the creep sitting at this place? Or,
So because they didn't know which table was calling them, because there was no such thing like display on phones.
Wow.
interesting.
Yeah, that would be super popular at bars to be able to just leave random messages up
Oh
there.
my gosh, yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Dude,
for your weddings, Chris? For your weddings?
This could work as a
Oh my
as
God,
a
for the
li-
weddings,
live.
amazing.
This
Right.
could be a live request line.
Everyone's
Okay, let me
oh, that's
zip
a
up.
good
Let
one.
me zip up the code and send it to you, Chris.
I was just
so you
thinking
can-
like happy notes for the bride and groom type of shit, just floating on the screen. But,
Oh,
right?
oh, yeah, like it's almost like a live feed of
Yep.
like a guest book.
Right.
Live
Right.
feed guest book. You just enter it into an iPad, and it's just a live display. Now we would have to change the character limit.
But I really like the idea of floating requests.
Floating requests, yeah.
Your songs are just
But
up
you
there.
see,
DJ
your
can choose which
attitude-
ones bump each
After
other
you
out.
see the application actually implemented, you become immediately a trigger in the mind to do other things about it
Right.
rather than
Uh-huh.
before
Right.
there was only the guess.
It all starts with a bubble, the
So-
AI bubble.
how about like at the bar, but it's called drunk text.
Yeah. Oh, could people? Okay, so people share maybe like a drunk text, like their best drunk text story, and people get to vote on.
No,
We
no,
can
you
even
just send.
The interface with WhatsApp, give it a number so people can WhatsApp the number and the bubble appears with the message.
Oh yeah,
Dude, what if it
yeah.
was an interactive bar game where it's like, who typed that? Can you guess who in the room typed that?
Ooh, that's really
With
good.
the map of the
And the people that are engaged, you can like pinpoint their phone or something.
Interesting.
Text.
That
Drunk
is a good
text,
one.
yeah.
So many different
It's
uses.
just-
What the hell?
It's just hey with like 37 Ys.
So, Chris, and everybody actually, even those that are listening, if you go to vibe.forturama.com/bubbles.zip, you can download the code of this application and install it wherever you want.
Very nice.
Wait, it's what is it
Dude,
again?
if people
Costas is
I'm like trying to. I got so many tabs open. I'm like, I saw that. No, I don't need the code. Don't worry about it. I'm good.
dude, it would
but you
it
can.
would
It's
be
gonna be there forever. We're
taking
gonna put it
podcast
in
questions.
after we publish the video. We put the link in the comments, in the description.
Another good use is taking podcast questions live. Do little bubbles.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And when you
Somebody can put-
answer, then you pop the bubble.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Wow. How many bubbles
that's-
can you put in here? Like if
I said
1,000
20.
people.
I said 20. When you put the 21st, the first one disappears. So there is
Okay.
always maximum 20. But that's the setting, so that's what came to my mind.
If there was a way to upvote the bubble where your bubble gets bigger, if by letting-
Bigger.
right,
Yeah.
like people want to answer that or they
See,
care about
that's
that.
exactly what I'm talking about, guys. This
I
is
should-
exactly
should
what
be-
I'm talking about.
Listen, I should be able to like a bubble, so it could because
Right.
a like will help it stay there longer.
For example. So everybody should comment under the video here in YouTube all the ideas on what we should do to this application to make it nicer or more functional, etc., etc. We take those suggestions and we do the upgrade. So every week we come back and see where our bubble went.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you a quick question. Did you already set up a YouTube channel, or is it?
Yeah, is youtube.com/@.
Wait, what is it?
Fortura-
Wait, what is it?
Wait, what is it? Oh my
Wait,
wait. I already
You should have that email,
emailed.
though.
I already emailed the link. Costas. You should
Yeah.
just have it in
You
your
share it with
email from me.
everybody. Social
There is
links, I
also
got it.
the link for you to accept the collaboration. So when there is the video, you can see that there is also
Did
your YouTube channel linked as a collaborator.
I procrastinated so hard that somebody else did it. So I
what is
apologize.
it?
That's why the living forever thing was fitting with you so well.
He's got Danish cookie tins on the mind and he can't accept new information. It's overloaded.
Come on. What do you guys? Who's watched my videos?
Dude,
TikToks.
to be fair, I couldn't even
Yeah,
spell
like it or
Forturamas
not,
for
they
like
come to me.
weeks.
Say what?
Did you share it yet? Did you share the
No,
links
they mean
to your
like
videos? Has it-
Costas' video comes in my Facebook newsfeed, even a little bit too many of them. I
Okay.
says, don't show me these kind of things, please. Mark, stop sending me Costas shit, Mark.
It's
Man.
funny.
Honestly, what do you guys think? I'm curious.
No, they're fun. They're cool. Actually, they're interesting. I was joking. I asked, Mark, send me more Costas things, please. Are you interested in this? Yes, I'm interested. But yeah, I want to understand the goal. They're just because they're fun, but there should be like an end goal to it. This is out of themselves, but they're cool.
The end goal.
It
There's
would,
no end goal.
you
It's
know,
just
I think it would benefit, which you probably already know this, to make it more satirical around current events. Like an example would be
Ah.
like the ICE raids right now, where you're like, we're out here, but you're trolling them. You know what I mean?
No, that would be a nice web application. You are a nice agent. There is a list of 50 American citizens and 2 illegal immigrants. You need to shoot all the American citizens first, and then go
Wow.
after the
You have to shoot all the
illegal.
American
I'm
to
not
get to
signing
the
up
It's
for
other
that.
called Minneapolis.com.
That one's dark.
No.
That one's
I'm
dark.
not signing up for that.
You're
I'm out.
lucky you're in another country, sir.
Yeah, dude. You can't. If you're in
Correct.
another country,
Was I living in the United States, I would never dare to mention this thing.
I'm not
Well,
allowed
bro,
to
too
laugh
soon.
at that. I'm not allowed to laugh or I get a knock.
if this
Cool,
was
bro.
Shark Tank, I'd be like, I'm out.
I'm out.
The point is, okay, can I share something interesting about this? So I definitely have a apolitical leaning that I don't want to share per se. However, what's funny is that both sides of the political aisle, like my videos for different reasons, which is really
And the
funny
true
to me.
balloons.
Okay, so I did this thing where so they set up the tins to protect, Greenland from. But what's funny is
Nice.
that people on the left see it like, Trump is dumb enough to do that. So it's like they see it funny from the different sides.
That's
And
wild.
it's funny to me. That's it's
wild.
like so. Like, how do I
You're
say?
almost
It's,
bridging the divide.
yeah, that's
Exactly.
it's hilarious to me because people like, yeah, dude,
Bro, you should
either
name
got
your.
like pro
That's what the
Trumpers
channel should be
or
called, Bridging the Divide, and purposely
bridging the
make
divide.
purposely.
It's a beautiful name, actually.
Because it's almost like I'm making fun of either, like I could be making fun of either side,
Ye-
and
Right.
nobody
It could
knows.
go either way. And I think that's a good way to approach it just from a comedic standpoint, no matter what your political leanings are,
Right.
just to make light of a situation. Sure, some things shouldn't be joked about right now. Maybe, I don't know, people, it's touchy for everybody, but I think everyone likes a little bit of comedy. And if
Yeah,
it's brought from an
That'll-
angle that isn't like you're not you're not blaming or, it's just, hey, I'm making light of a situation.
I'm goofing
your,
off.
your stand-up special right there, Bridging the Divide.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The
But
Heisenberg Chronicles.
I thought about doing like taking the best bits from that and actually going on stage and doing them like a live report. I think that would be very
That'd be sick.
interesting.
Bro, I had a joke book. I had 200 jokes written, and I come back to it, and I can only remember like 10 of them. I'm like, I
They
don't
made
even
you
know
laugh
what this
or not?
punch. Dude, yeah, but the 10 that I can remember, you know what I mean?
But
I gotta
how
be
old are they?
I gotta be way more detailed about like what was this about? Because I'm like, what the hell is this punchline? I don't understand anymore, you know?
If it's not
No,
not topical, then
dude.
that also.
Well, I got one that's really old and dumb. This was like one of my first ones. And it was like, imagine you go to grocery stores and the birds are chirping advertisements.
Train pirates,
Right. Outside in the parking lot before you even get in. They're telling you what to buy.
Oh my god! the
Oh,
parrots,
buy one,
dude.
get one.
Exactly.
Bongo, 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 cracker, bongo, bongo, cracker, cracker, bongo.
And they're trying to be all discreet about it. That's what's funny. It's like,
First bird that can whisper.
Speaking of advertisement, dude, I got to share this thing on TikTok. Is the most okay? It's Barbie. So they take. So some of them are AI Barbies. They're very dark, and then there's one of them that actually has the same sort of like dark kind of scenes. But they always got like a product placement of one product, and they sell that product. Brilliant marketing, brilliant. Every
Explain
shot
this
has
again
that.
because this time I'm the dumb one.
wow.
I'm gonna put somebody on TikTok created an account and it's Barbies. It's a Barbie,
Okay.
with her hair
AI
crazy.
generated Barbies.
Yeah, AI generated Barbie. And in the shot, there's a product, something that they sell, and
Okay.
there's a link to that product. So it's funny because it's
So
a
they
funny
added to
meme.
the stupid videos of the capacity to sell something like you.
So what I did the other day, I was in Arizona. I did an advertisement. I went to this restaurant. And I had a great sandwich. I took a picture of the place, and then they used the AI to put me in there to do a report. Like, hey, this is the most amazing place. I got you. I got the Italian grinder. That literally was the name of the sandwich, Italian grinder, which is funny to me.
Because it's a gay
It's got
sandwich. I
connotation.
like it.
But anyway, so I did a review of the place using AI in my style in their place. And so the application for marketing is incredible. To me, that's first of all. And also, if you look up Barbie fights, they do like stop animation of these actual Barbies, and they're fighting each other, and then they have audio of like actual like people fighting, off the internet, like black women fighting each other. It's hilarious, bro. Hilarious. I don't know why it's so funny to me, but it's just like crazy fights of
Yeah, it's
Barbies
funny
fighting.
to me too, I guess.
So, anyways, that's my report. That's my what I discovered on them interwebs on TikTok.
That's great.
TikTok's kind of there's a lot of crazy suggestions. I'm like, my God.
Yeah,
TikTok's a bit of a.
It's wild.
But anyway,
because
strange planet.
TikTok now, I get way more engagement and success, but it doesn't get shown to anybody. I'll get tons of comments and likes, but it will not get like pushed out anymore. It's very strange.
I've been hearing that from a lot of creators and posters.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Likes are up, comments are up, but it'll be like struggling to hit 1,000 now. But it's insane engagement. That's why I'm like, why won't it push it? If the engagement is doing so well, it doesn't push it. It's weird. Maybe it's the topics.
It's the topics. Like, for instance, I've been posting like 2-3 a day, and the Danish.
All my shit's controversial, so maybe that's why.
Yeah,
But you in Facebook, you have instantly many views. At the beginning, I thought you were purchasing them. You know, like
Hell
was-
no.
dude,
hey, post another video. Like,
Nah, when it's posting my old ones, that's automated, so I kind of get annoyed and I have to go back and delete them. But Instagram crosses to Facebook and it pushes it together, so that's the good part.
right.
I stopped
And
doing them.
the count is collected between the two platforms.
No, it's
I
separate,
have-
separate
dude,
accounts.
I have been hearing and reading some articles about how that engagement might not even be real. Like the views and impressions for Facebook and Instagram. I don't even want to get into
They're
the
fixing it?
yeah, I don't even want to get into how that's possible, but they have it
Dead
every
internet.
incentive. They have every incentive to push that like that and make it look like you're getting engagement.
When you pay, there are fake. They have click
Yeah.
farms, and they
and-
must be run by Facebook because there
Dude,
is
okay.
no way those killings.
When they first came out with the creator programs, I was getting like a few $100s a month. This was like years ago on Facebook, Instagram. And then when it started to fall steeply, it was like 1 cent every month. And I was like, dude, imagine how many accounts are getting 1 cent and they're like, we support creators, as if it's like this huge number with 1 cent. I know
We paid
that's
out 1 million
right.
creators.
Right, exactly. That's how they word it.
I'm pretty sure Facebook has, settled lawsuits in the past. I get those in my ads manager all the time.
That's wild.
Facebook just recently settled a lawsuit, sign up for your entitlement. It's going to be a buck.
$0.30.
Dude,
Yeah.
they haven't let
Yeah.
me run ads for 8 years. And it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, I paid $500 for an ad and it got like hundreds of thousands of views. And then suddenly it dropped down to 10,000. And I was like, hey, how are y'all charging me hundreds of dollars and you took away all the views and engagement? And then they just like turned off my account for running ads. I didn't run an ad again because I was like, y'all just scammed the shit out of me. But I know they had like a system upgrade in like 19 or 2021 or sometime around.
It's a while back there, buddy.
Yeah,
I've been victim of the scam of Google, actually, YouTube.
Oh, God.
YouTube was doing this for a while until I threatened them with the class action. So
Ooh.
practically, you get a premium subscription, okay? And if you have a premium subscription, they just cancel your account. So your account suddenly, so you receive an email, your account is already gone, but the payment keep going. And there was no way to go inside the account to block the payment.
What?
I found people that were desperate, like, I'm a student, I have little money, you keep charging me every month like this. And not only, there was a channel, nothing special, but I had quite some videos that were, my, memories and stuff that had no other copies anywhere else. Well, 2 years later, they give me back my channel. Sorry, we were mistaken. So he stayed 2 years cancel, not only because I wanted to do a lot of other things, and that was in my main email address. So I had no more YouTube. I couldn't do anything. When it comes to
Wow.
YouTube, I was blocked completely. So
Wow.
I had to change my email to another email, create another email that was my main email because I have the domain name, right? And then everything remained attached to the old email that I called Rob's Mind, or I don't remember what I called it anyway. And eventually, they took them 2 years to return me
hell?
the channel.
Dude,
Roberto's like, I can't find my Barbie fight videos. Where are they?
Exactly, correct.
just to summarize, the case I have right now against Google is because they shut down an email of mine, right? And they're trying to charge nonprofits to even use their nonprofit service, which is a whole nother story. Anyways, a few days ago, they shut down my White Hat email. I freaked out because I couldn't get mail, and it's like I have a bunch of legal shit. And I'm like, this is the second email you've shut down in the middle of litigation. And you know what the solution was? The solution was I had to tell Wix, hey, let me pay Google in order to get my shit back. So they're forcing me to switch to Google while I'm suing them in order to unlock my access to get my emails. Just to get
Their
back into my
conflict of interest.
right. Dumbest solution ever. I'm like, all right, I know this is gonna go how I want, so I'll just shut up.
This is why we need to decentralize.
Right.
Guys.
Blockchain.
Email server that is decentralized. I'm working on it, guys. soon
Well,
open
that's a good
sourcing the
app.
best. Yeah.
How to
The
decentralize.
platform for decentralized applications. So this is the base platform that running many nodes in peer-to-peer network where you can deploy application like a mail server, like a database, like PHP scripts,
But
hosting for
last
website, all
last note,
decentralized.
my last note is the fact that if you ever tell Google, "Hey, I need you to litigation hold and preserve this information," they're like, "We don't do anything without a court order." So imagine a company is so big, they're like, "We don't have to listen to you. We have trillions of dollars. We have no obligation unless a judge tells us we have to." Mind blown. Yeah, that's how they are with everyone.
Too big to fail.
Beyond that, dude, like
Too big
they
to
are.
care.
That's what's crazy
Yeah, too
is
big to care.
I don't
Yeah, I
think
don't give a.
people I don't think people realize like a Walmart, a Google, they are countries. They're not companies. They are entire countries.
There
They
is
make
a very
they make more
beautiful
money,
book that if you find this book, it's worth reading. You can read it in a day or two. It's very nice and also mind opening. It's called Jennifer Government.
Oh,
Is in this strange moment in the future where identity are lost. Corporations are in fact countries, bigger than country because
right? We're already there.
Starbucks has cover many different countries and so on. And people, they don't have a family name anymore. They take the name of the business they work for. So if I work at
wow.
Nike, I will be Roberto Nike. Jennifer Government is a police officer, right? Because government. And
Wow.
result is investigation is a very, very
And
nice book.
you know why that makes sense is because think about how Costco's building housing for their employees now. They don't want you to leave. They're like, "You are one of us."
Well, they used to do that.
Ford has been the first to do that, honestly, but
Yeah, they would
Nice.
create
only was
companies
selling the
down.
cars to their employees as well.
Yeah,
Nice.
our
But that was different. That was like they cared back then, you know what I mean?
I was for the I see.
yeah, it's like, how much do they care? How much money can they put in versus having control over you? But that's actually how our city was built. Bucyrus, Erie it's a big, metal
Dormitory for the
manufacturer.
factory.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
and
In
our
Italy,
our
we have
entire
many
city
cases
was
like
built
this.
to
There
support
are
that company.
cities that are dormitory for workers. They work in the huge, for example, place where they build ships or other things. Yeah,
Shit, well,
humans.
Roberto
It's
sent
the
me some
matters.
shit the other day where I was like, "This is why you haven't been back to America." I put together some puzzles, and I was like, "I know why Roberto hasn't come back." Yeah, I don't know.
And I
You should tell
cannot
him
come
that
back
story.
either.
You should tell him, dude.
Yeah, yeah, it's a long story, but it's been a bad. Pretty much after the attack to the Twin Towers, the American government put together a legal system called Patriot Act. And this Patriot Act was supposed to also enable the sharing of databases and other things. So pretty much it wasn't very well done technically, I guess. So I was shocked. I mean, there is a backstory to this. I was in Florida and somebody asked me to make this software, but it's very sensitive stuff. So they asked me if they could do a background check on me, to which I authorized. I implemented this application, and at the end of the work, the guy says, "Roberto, I have a question for you." I said, "Sure, just ask me." He says, "Why you have so many property in Illinois?" I said, "Me, I don't have any property in Illinois. What are you talking about?" He says, "Come on, you remember you authorized me to do your background check so I could see, you can tell me." He says, "Man, I don't have any property in Illinois. Sorry." Then I deposit, and this remain in my mind like, boo, whatever. I deposit the patent. And then I went to query the patents by inventor name. So I put Roberto Capodieci with the O and O. 3 pages of patents in my name. Because who's patenting stuff in my name? Consider that in Italy, Capodieci is a very rare family name. So the only Capodieci I know are my family.
Because
I never met another person with his family name. And then I see that there is somebody in Illinois called Roberto Capodieci. Try to track down, but cannot find anything. I was working with law enforcement, federal law enforcement at the time, so I asked a favor, and they gave me the phone number, which was private, wasn't listed. I also an address, so I tried to call, nobody answered. So I sent a letter, with the photo and also says, look, this is an insane coincidence because not even in Italy there is such thing. I'm Roberto Capodici. I wrote it in English. And I asked a return receipt. Few days later, I received the return receipt signed Roberto Capodici, which was a very weird things for me because, it was not my signature, but somebody signed my name. It was strange. No answer. Call, no answer. I was like surprised. One day I was flying out, and on the way to the airport, my cell phone ring, and it says, hello, this is Roberto Capodici. Says, no, this is Roberto Capodici. I said, no, this is Roberto Capodici. No, this is Roberto. And comes out there is this man, which was 30 years older than me, named Roberto Capodici, that actually lived in Chicago in the suburbs. So I was like, okay, we should meet because that's some strange crap, And we met, and you know what? The life story of this man was identical to mine. The kids that he had, the divorce, all the same story, being an inventor and things. So this guy was like an inventor. That's why he had so many patents in his name. Wealthy. He had many properties there in Chicago. And his wife was working for Mars. In fact, they gave me a bucket of all the Mars M&Ms and things because Mars under the brand there is everything. So I stay at their house for a while. I mean, became friends. We started
Wow.
talking every day. Was taking the dog for a walk. We spent 1 hour on the phone. And these things, I went to Chicago. I also met other people. I made friends. There was this girl that was flirting. In my work travels, I was in Italy. So I was traveling to Chicago, stay there for a day or two, and then flying to Tokyo. And then from Tokyo was coming to Indonesia. And when I arrived in Chicago, I passed the immigration, passed the customs, and somebody tapped on my shoulder. I turn around and says, you need to come with me. They brought me in a place, maybe with hours. Then at a certain point, they put me in a small room, like 10 feet by 10 feet. I know it's a very small place. And there, the disasters. These immigration officers, one black guy that Mike Tyson would be like Lilliput next to him. Like this guy was huge. And he was yelling to my nose, don't lie to me. You have houses here. You own properties. What happened? That this Roberto Capodici, he was Italian citizen, naturalized American, so became a citizen and moved to Texas, Arizona, I think, Scottsdale. In the same moment, there was a void of this Italian Roberto Capodici that was nowhere. And they thought it was me. And he says, you have no visa to live in the United States. In fact, I was always as a tourist there, but you own properties here. So pretty much with the threat that if I didn't sign without reading, they will bring me to prison and I stay a week before getting in front of, I don't know what would have happened. They made me sign this thing without reading it, where practically I confirm that I have houses and cars and all there in Illinois. And bounced me. I had stuff in my luggage. They stole all my cash. They stole all my gadgets, electronic gadgets that I had, And anyway, I left.
You know what it means? It means that there's only room for one Roberto
Roberto
Capodici
Capodici,
in the United States. I'm sorry, that's how.
He's 30 years older than me and 50. The guy must be 80. So, I wonder
Still, there's only room for one.
because we were going, for example, supermarket, and it was like, oh, no, do pay with my credit card. And so I will give his credit card. The name is this, my ID. And they weren't taking it well, because same name. I don't know if this guy not to pay taxes or shit is something strange. I put my birth date on some documents or whatever. But matter of fact is that, I said, finish. I got so scared in that situation that in Chicago, I said, no more. In the 9 years later, I had a business appointment to go for an important things. I go in the ESA website where you take the green light to fly, because as an Italian passport, I just fly in, and it got denied.
Wow.
So I went to the embassy, denied. Why? And I still haven't connected the dots that, the experience in Chicago was actually...
That's why I told you,
They
file those Privacy Act
pretty much...
requests.
So the finish of all this thing is that the United States is afraid that for me to go in with an excuse of a business visit or a holiday and remains there living. We went with the business partners very well in the United States. We even wrote to senators of the government. And you should see there is a letter that we received that was supposed to be private from the consul general in Indonesia to the senator saying, we're sorry, but Roberto owns different houses, etc., etc. Even though that wouldn't even be the case. But a lawyer paid quite good money said, the only way to go to the United States is to migrate, to live there, to get a green card and live there, because that defeats the fact that they're afraid that you will go there to live, because you are going there to live. And I got it. So I got the 1B visa to move in, but I never did because I said, fuck it, I'm not going to go through the same experience. But this is my story, my experience with. I
So,
enjoy
yeah,
it. For many
dude.
years, I traveled around. I had a lot of good time.
So yeah, he sent me the documents and I read it and I was like, this is why he hasn't been back, just from reading some signatures. And I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, dude, I don't even blame you. That's what's crazy.
And let that be a lesson to all immigrants. We will
Yeah.
make your life hell.
Exactly.
Well, I
I
mean,
was thinking,
That's the
20
state.
years later, I would have been
Wow.
shot, killed by those immigrant agents. So, but
I mean,
Those are not my
wow.
views. I'm just satire.
That was
satire
a great
people.
I'm an
accent,
immigrant.
though. That was great.
I'm an immigrant. Different experience.
Hey, who's next on this presentation? Let's go.
We're talking about immigration now. You know, you should go through Somalia. I'm just saying, you start a daycare center, you might get
Wow.
in, get funded.
Did you see
Yeah.
how they're still getting money even after they pass or something? Did y'all see that story?
Unbelievable. Yeah, that's great.
I don't even want to talk
And
about it.
what's amazing is California, they're starting to peel the the lid on that, and there's even more money that's been lost in California.
I love what the Elon Musk did with Doge. It was pretty cool, right?
It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's too bad.
stormed in, grabbed
Probably
our social security
realized-
numbers.
Right? Dude,
What with it? No, okay, Chris, what did he do with our social security numbers? What did he do with them?
So it's a conspiracy. I can't prove it. It's my
Okay.
opinion, right?
Okay.
So here's what I'm thinking. He goes in with the idea of, I'm going to go find the fraud and the waste, right? So he goes in, gets access. He's pretty close buddies with those Palantir guys and the big defense contractors. I suspect, what if there's a possibility he's just grabbing all of our information to help build out that database? And it didn't have to be Elon. It could have been anyone else. It could have been leaked elsewhere. But, I don't know. I'm a bit skeptical about the reasons that they're in there to do, what they're doing.
On top of AI, right? On top of building his AI.
Yeah, let's just feed it into an AI and, everything else. I'm just saying there's not a lot of people who are...
But what about, okay, that aside, what about all the fraud that's going on? Is that not a big deal?
Fraud is a huge deal to me. However, I think the fraud that they're looking at is actually smoke and mirrors for all the fraud that they've been committing on other sides. And I'm not talking about a party. I'm just talking about the corporate handouts, the bank bailouts, the defense spending. If you look at the budget...
Those are legal frauds. You need to go for illegal stuff. Unfortunately, what government do that is legal. Like, you can own slaves if you go back in time. It was legal.
Right. No,
right. So you do it today, you're in trouble.
It's a good point, because I think he was expecting to find something that was actually, I don't want to say legit, but was causing more problems than solving at some point. Remember how much he thought he was going to cut from deficit and it didn't even happen?
Well, look at how many times he says that, full self-driving or the autopilot's coming, Q2 of next year. Q2. They make these outrageous claims and never back up.
Same guy that says money won't matter, retirement, school doesn't matter, but also we need to make more money with Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
All right, money doesn't matter, but we need to charge people more.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Something that really upset me is people that call Elon Musk dumb, because you can call it whatever you want, but not dumb. Or Trump also, they call it dumb. If you're dumb, you don't get to achieve so much. Do you agree it or not? But you don't get to achieve so much.
And people act like getting government contracts is some easy handout. You know what I mean? It's really not.
It is if you're Somali. I'm just saying.
All right. Who's going next? Whose presentation's next? Damn it.
Dude, it's 1 o'clock, dude. Didn't we have a 2-hour limit on this thing?
If you don't have it, if you didn't come prepared, buddy, that's on you. Just
did
say
not
it.
come prepared.
Just say it.
I do have to hop off though, but I do want to pick up this conversation next week and continue everything we got going on. This is awesome.
Yeah, this was fun. Roberto, you coming back to America soon?
He turned his mic off. You got to press the button.
No, sorry. Somebody was calling my phone, and I think they want to deliver a package.
It was Roberto Capodici.
Exactly.
The real.
correct.
The real one.
The real.
The real
So,
one.
to each of you, don't close your window unless you have 100% uploads. Okay,
Got
Joe,
it.
that
By
is
the way,
good enough.
Roberto, great job on the website. Wonderful job. I love.
It's incredible, dude.
I'll
and the
close my
and
window
the-
right now.
Freaking choose your own adventure, choose your avatar. Like,
It's
just
pretty
so
cool.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wonder what if it was connected to an AI which now generates new fresh images.
Yeah, that would have been the thing, but I just did all the images.
Or-
It's
Okay,
the
just
or-
feelings,
I'm
it's
not trying
the
to add to
anatomy.
you. I'm not.
What if there was a way to grab our transcripts from the podcasts to where we're like, give me an episode where they talk about blank.
Dang.
That'd be
I have
kinda
seen
cool.
some AI podcasters out there where they'll kind of you upload your avatar, and whether it's as a main host or like a
But yeah,
co-host.
Yeah. That's cool. That's actually pretty cool.
I think that's the next
Interesting.
project working on. So it's all of us in that style, podcasting 24/7. Just
That'd be kinda
like a
funny.
live stream.
Is this why my electric bill has gone up? We need data centers just to keep a loop of people.
To be honest, as dumb as that idea sounds, I feel like it would make money.
It would-
Yeah, absolutely. Just pop in at any time. 20.
Right.
And then, but the thing is, it's not. It's like I mean, so it's not just one. Then you can you can whatever topic becomes viral or you could do an offshoot, literally do another podcast, start another one at the same time on that topic. So you have all these branches. Crazy. This
we
whole
can,
network.
but you made me think something. We're gonna be useless in the future.
He's trying. There's automating the pod. Like that's it. I don't need to show up anymore.
Nah, it's-
Exactly.
You know what'd be
correct.
cool is if we didn't have
So
to work.
Eisenberg
at
is
all.
trying to find a way to get himself out of this thing that he
I'm essentially listen,
involuntarily found himself in.
so I don't know if you know this about me. I'm essentially a lazy person, and if I could,
Best
You know,
investor,
do it faster.
inventors
Your
are
biggest
lazy.
fans- your
Laziness
biggest
is the key for
fans-
invention.
Your fans are gonna quote you and you're gonna be like, I said that?
said that. Oh, yeah, I said that.
That was
Then I
the
would say,
other
no,
Roberto.
sorry, what was it that?
But dude, like I was saying though, like when I was saying take those personality tests, we could literally tell your AI this is how we all are programmed, our personalities, and it would be even more on point because it would know how we think or what we value, you know?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I've done some crazy psychological profiles on myself based on what it knows about me, and I tend to add everything in the kitchen sink in my
Right.
questionnaires and the
Right.
mess. I mean,
The funny
I
part,
did a whole.
our personalities are the ones that are most into that shit too. So it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we deep dive, and
Like-
it fires the brain up because we love that kind of complexity and multi, bracket,
The
it's just-
person who made the Myers-Briggs quiz had our personality, so it makes sense.
So you're
Mhm.
saying you and I were similar? What about these other guys? Did they do it?
Well, the
You guys
reason I
do it?
already knew is because creatives are typically, you can kind of guess.
Yeah. So
I
you
didn't do this
that are
most recent
listening
one.
and watching
If I had
this
to
video,
guess, if I had to guess, I think Chris is an INFJ, and I think Roberto's an INTJ. But that's just my
good.
guess.
I don't want to be LGBT.
No, he's NFT.
Yo, but
My
if
pronouns are
if-
what if.
if I'm right though, I'm gonna be cracking up because I can usually tell people's personalities just from talking to them.
I gotta look at
How much you
I gotta look at
charge?
all of them because
Dude,
I've
no,
been.
Are we
but
good? Are we
it's-
good?
Dude,
Let's end it before we keep going, right?
I was just gonna say people get pissed if I can type them and I don't even know them. It creeps them out.
It freaks them out, right?
Yeah. In a bad way.
It's intel. It's good to know your person.
Good to know how to communicate with people.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I can immediately be
know what
like,
their motivators
don't
are.
do this, or even the way people walk, you can tell their personality type from their stance. I'm not even kidding.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
All right, dudes, we
Fellas,
gotta
I gotta
Yeah,
hop
we're
off.
out.
hop
We're
out
out.
before we get into trouble.
You're right.
I
You're
appreciate
right.
you guys. You're awesome.
I'm gonna
Have a good night.
say bye. Don't close your browsers.
Okay.
Ciao.
Say
Close
goodbye.
it. Closing
Bye.
browser now.
Browser.
Closing it now.
Now.
Yeah, everybody close.
Okay.